Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my rapid fire TBR, where I have chosen 5 books off of my Unhaul cart. Which I discussed in my Unhaul project video back at the beginning of this year that I have made absolutely zero progress on, and it is July. So like I said, I chose 5 books off of the Unhaul cart. I plan to read the first chapter in all 5 of them and report back to you after each chapter and tell you guys whether or not I think that it's something that I want to continue on. If it does not pass the first chapter test, it will be remaining on a different shelf of the Unhaul cart, which are definite goodbyes. They are books that I plan to unhaul, don't plan to give another chance to, and I just need to be a little bit more cutthroat with this because, like I said, I have made zero progress on the Unhaul cart. It's time. So, the 5 books that I chose are The Fandom by Anna Day, Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston, Blood Magic by Tessa Gratton, Burning Midnight by Will McIntosh, and Mirage by Samaya Dowd. I am going to pick one of these. I think I'm going to start with Heart of Iron, and I will report back to you after I finish chapter 1. Okay, so we're a chapter in on Heart of Iron. My understanding of this is that it is like a spacey, opera-y Anastasia retelling, I think. I didn't really get that from the first chapter, but I did get a lot of action, a lot of convenient conversational exposition, you know, when like there's a character talking to another character and they're telling them things that that character already knows, so it's definitely purely for your benefit, which I don't necessarily love, but I don't think I hated it enough to automatically unhaul this book. Another fun fact, I found out this was something that I bought on Book Outlet like way back in the day, and apparently it's signed, so that's fun. I think we're gonna keep this one. I enjoyed the part that I read, which was from the character Anna's point of view. I have not gotten to see anything from the other point of view, which is somebody named Rob. But yeah, there's android type characters. There's spaceships. She's a bit of a con artist, a bit of a thief. She's an orphan, and I'm still intrigued. I was intrigued when I read about this. I'm still intrigued after having read the first chapter, so we're gonna keep this one. Next, I think I'm gonna go to the first chapter of Burning Midnight by Will McIntosh. I will report back to you guys after I'm done. Okay, so I have finished the first chapter of Burning Midnight by Will McIntosh, and this is backfiring on me because this is the second one that I am massively intrigued by, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere because now I do want to keep reading it. So I can't tell if this is like a futuristic Earth or like a alternative, I don't know, history is the wrong word, alternative universe Earth, because they've talked about things like the Grateful Dead and eBay and Pittsburgh, but they have these things called spheres, and they're very valuable, and each imparts a different ability onto you. So like on the back it says teal, makes you fall asleep easily, rarity level of 1, slate gray, rarity level of 2, gives you enhanced singing ability. So like the different colored spheres do different things, and this guy is a collector of them. He sells them in like a flea market type setting, and like in the chapter that I read, a girl approaches him at his flea market table and tries to sell him one that has a rarity level of like 3 or 4 or something like that, so he could easily make like hundreds of dollars off of it. So that's as far as I've gotten, but I'm really interested. I might actually just continue reading this, but I do have other ones that I need to pick up. So this is going well. But now let's move on to the first chapter of Mirage. Okay, so this one, Prologue and first chapter down of Mirage by Samaya Dowd. I don't know. My impressions of this are not as great as the first two, but I don't think that I want to get rid of this one either. Guys, this is my issue, okay? I don't hate anything that much right off the bat with reading it, so I don't know. I didn't know if this was going to be a success or not going into it, honestly. So TBD on that, I guess. But I don't think that the first chapter or the prologue were very indicative of what the overall plot is supposed to be. It was a little bit more flowery than the other two. The good thing that these are all YA is that there are very short chapters, so they've only been like 4 or 5 pages. The downside of that is they really don't get into very much in terms of the story. My understanding of this is that there is supposed to be a girl who looks identical to a princess, and I don't know if they kidnap her or what happens, but they end up using her as the princess's double so that if an assassination attempt occurs, she gets killed instead of the real princess. Now, the prologue starts off with an assassination attempt, but I think it's one of those flash forward prologues, and then you go back and walk through the plot all the way up to that point. But yeah, this looks fantasy, I will say, and it surprised me that it was sci-fi. I think that might be a little bit of what's drawing me into it a little bit more. It's taking place on other planets, they have blasters. All of that is very intriguing. Out of the three, this is maybe the one I would be least likely to keep just because it has drawn me in a little bit less than the other two that I've read so far, but damn it, guys, I liked it so far too. The next one I'm gonna do is Blood Magic by Tessa Gratton. This is a book that I have been carrying around for many a year that I got for $3.98 on sale. I've had it for at least 6 years and have not picked it up once. I have no idea what this is about, but we're gonna try the first chapter and I'll let you guys know how it goes. Okay, technically 2 chapters. The first chapter was literally a sentence. This is reading a little bit juvenile for me. Have you guys seen The Secret Circle on the CW? That's from that's from a book series too, isn't it? This is giving me those kinds of vibes, and I don't think that I particularly care. It's contemporary, and she's talking about high school, and her parents died, and apparently her dad was a blood magic practitioner, and magic is not a real thing in this world, so she kind of doubts that it's real, but then she is like, well, my dad would never lie or make these kinds of mean jokes, so why don't I stab myself in the thumb and try to do a spell in a cemetery? Very beginning of Vampire Diaries vibes with that kind of a thing. Another CW show. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be for me. I think that if I'm going to hard DNF, if I don't care this much when I read the first, technically 2 chapters, I am probably not ever going to. It's been here for 6 years, like I said, and it just really didn't pull me in. So I think we're just gonna let this one go. It's going to the shelf that is meant for books that I am absolutely getting rid of. I need to be cutthroat on this, and that's where this is landing. So, moving on. Next up, we have The Fandom by Anna Day. My understanding of this is that there's a girl at a con, maybe? She's a cosplayer of some kind, and somehow, some way, she gets sucked into the book or the world or the movie or something of her like favorite fandom that she is into. That's the extent of what I know. It sounded intriguing and that's why I got it. So yeah, I'll let you guys know what I think. Okay, final update. First chapter and prologue of The Fandom is done, and I'd say that this experiment was mostly a fail, because if I'm being honest, I'm keeping 4 of these 5 books to read at a later time. They probably are coming off of my Unhaul cart because I'm intrigued, and this is no different. I thought that the premise sounded really, really cool. Who doesn't want the concept of getting sucked into their favorite fandom? Her fandom is a very 2010s dystopian story where she's like obsessed with these characters. There's a rebellion, there's a class system that splits the people into 2 different castes, and yeah, it's dark. The book that she's obsessed with is dark, and they're about to go to Comic-Con to meet the actor who plays her favorite character. So, thanks, buddy. So it's interesting for sure. I'm definitely going to keep reading it. All of these I want to keep to read. That is not to say that I won't get rid of them after I have read as much as I want to of them, but this is where I was trying to be cutthroat and get rid of things that didn't grip me. Unfortunately, I picked 4 books that had really great first chapters. So, call that what you will. I'm not necessarily going to call it a 100% failed experiment because it was interesting and it got me reading these books that I've been sitting there for a very long time. But yeah, that's where we land on that. So, I did my very first rapid fire TBR. First chapters of these 5 books are down. One of them that I am going to be getting rid of. I did not come up with this idea. I feel like it's important you guys know that. I actually first saw it on Jade from JD Ray Reed's channel. She did this with BookBox subscription books, I think, that she was thinking about getting rid of. And I think that she had considerably more success than I did. But maybe if I continue to do this with my Unhaul Project books, I will be able to weed out a couple more of them that I'm not so sure about. But that's it for this video today, guys. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Down in my description box, you're going to see rep codes for both Hello Lovely Box and Unplugged Book Box. And underneath that are links to my Goodreads, my Twitter, and my Instagram in case you guys wanted to follow me on any of those. But that's it for me today, guys. So I will talk to you in my next one. Bye!